The glitch in the system. The ordinary life. Daniel Carter is an average office worker. Every morning he follows the same routine: wake up, shower, coffee, commute. The city he lives in is pristine, almost too perfect. People walk in sync, their faces devoid of emotion. The atmosphere is sterile, unnervingly uniform. One morning, Daniel notices something odd. The digital clock on his microwave flickers strangely, displaying nonsensical symbols for a second before correcting itself. He shakes it off as a minor malfunction. His television randomly turns to static before returning to normal. He feels an odd sense of déjà vu, as though he has lived this moment countless times before. The first glitch. As he walks to work, he experiences something unsettling. Time seems to freeze, just for a fraction of a second. The people around him stop mid-motion before resuming as if nothing happened. Daniel blinks, trying to shake the eerie feeling. He reaches his office and finds everything exactly the same as yesterday, his desk untouched, his co-workers absorbed in their routine. But then he notices his colleague Mark is missing. His chair is empty, yet Daniel clearly remembers seeing him earlier that morning. No one else seems to remember Mark at all. Files related to Mark have vanished. Even his email history is wiped clean. The wrong reflection. Later that evening, Daniel looks into the mirror. Something is wrong. His reflection stares back at him, but it lags, just slightly. Then, the impossible happens. His reflection smirks at him, while his face remains expressionless. He stumbles backward in shock, and when he looks again, everything is normal. That night, he dreams of himself staring into the mirror, only this time, his reflection is whispering something he cannot hear. The man who wasn't there. Daniel starts noticing strange inconsistencies. Objects appear in places he doesn't remember leaving them. Conversations with colleagues feel scripted, as if they are repeating the same lines over and over. The sensation of déjà vu becomes overwhelming. One night, he sees shadowy figures standing in the distance watching him. When he turns to get a better look, they vanish. His phone glitches constantly, displaying a garbled text that reads, "They are watching." The error in the sky. One day, Daniel stares at the sky and notices something alarming. The clouds are looping. The same formation passes overhead, repeating in a perfect cycle. His heart pounds. The streetlights flicker erratically, and in the reflection of a shop window, he sees a distorted version of himself staring back. The whispering figures. Walking home, Daniel feels a heavy presence. At the edge of his vision, tall, distorted humanoid figures stand in alleyways. Their forms flicker, shifting like static. He tries to approach them, but the moment he steps closer, they disappear. That night, he hears them whispering through his television, through the hum of his refrigerator, voices layered on top of one another, murmuring secrets he cannot quite understand. The hidden truth. The stranger's warning. One evening, a homeless man grabs Daniel's arm and whispers, "You're not real. Wake up before they erase you." Before Daniel can react, the man's face distorts for a split second, turning into something inhuman, something glitching. Then he vanishes into the darkness. The next day, Daniel tries to find him, but it's as if he never existed. The surveillance beings. Daniel realizes he is being followed by men in black suits with empty, featureless faces. They never blink, never speak, only watch. They communicate in distorted, static-like sounds. He catches glimpses of them in his office building, in the reflections of passing cars, always lingering at the edges of his awareness. The first escape attempt. Panicked, Daniel tries to flee the city. Every road loops back to where he started. The buildings realign, trapping him in an endless cycle. His breath catches. He is trapped. He tries taking the subway, but it always leads back to the same station. Even his phone GPS malfunctions, displaying coordinates that make no sense. The revelation. The woman who knows. A woman named Alara finds him, claiming to know the truth. She leads him to an underground hideout, its walls covered in cryptic symbols. There are others like her, people who have seen beyond the illusion. "You are living in a simulation," she explains. "They are watching everyone, controlling everything." The real face of the world. Alara gives Daniel a special eye drop that lets him see the world as it really is. The illusion shatters. The city is a decayed wasteland. The people are hollow mannequins, and massive eldritch creatures walk among them, disguised as humans. He watches in horror as people flicker, revealing their true forms, grotesque, insect-like entities wrapped in human skin. The choice to resist. Alara tells Daniel he must choose, accept ignorance or fight back. She shows him a digital fork in reality. One leads to erasure, the other to war. She warns that once he chooses, there is no going back. The descent into horror. The agents of control. The faceless beings attack, trying to delete Daniel from existence. Reality glitches violently. His body flickers like corrupted data. He fights to stay conscious as the world around him bends and fractures. The escape from the system. Daniel and Alara break into a server facility where the simulation's code is stored. They must shut it down before they are caught. But the deeper they go, the more unstable reality becomes. Hallways shift, gravity bends, and time loops unpredictably. The betrayal. But Alara was never real. She was a program, a trap. Daniel realizes she led him straight into an extermination zone. Her face glitches apart, revealing her monstrous form. She was never trying to free him. She was ensuring his deletion. The erasure. Daniel is captured and forcefully plugged into a reprogramming machine. His memories are wiped, resetting him back to normal. The illusion restored. The final scene shows Daniel back at his desk, smiling blankly, unaware that he ever tried to escape. In the reflection of his computer screen for just 1 second, Daniel sees a monstrous entity watching through his own eyes. A whisper echoes, "You never left."